At the conference in Luxembourg, we ended with a panel called How Banks Can Make Sure to Remain a Trusted Financial Service Provider in the Future. And Thibault de Barsy, who is currently visiting professor at the University of Luxembourg, but previously also CEO of Keytrade, had the challenge to moderate that panel. Now, Thibault, what were your key takeaways of that panel?
Well, it's not easy to be a banker today, right? You have a lot of regulations. Clients have lost a lot of trust in banks since the 2008 crisis, but we see a lot of things evolving. So on the private bank side, definitely there is a digitization of services there. Right. There is increasing personalization and efforts putting into the one-to-one relationship with their clients. Mm-hmm. And of course, we have the new kids on the block with N26, which is providing a superb application with a 6 minutes account opening. So what I really retain is that everyone is respecting each other. Everyone sees the difficulties of each and one another, and even as you've seen, even the private bankers use sometimes the services of N26 because they are fascinated by the easiness. And on the other hand, we know that N26 doesn't offer the same depth in terms of product range and services than the private banks. So I think that all in all, it was extremely interesting to see the extent to which everyone is trying to please its clients, because in terms of satisfaction and loyalty, the banks who were there, retail or private, were very convincing in the way they are satisfying their clients, even if in general the trust in banks seem not to have recovered since the financial crisis.
I think what was pretty unique at the panel today, we had general manager of N26 talking to a private banker, Bruno, Houdmont, CEO of Degroof Petercam, and Thomas Steiger from World Banking, from VP Bank.
Yes.
They were not competitors to some extent, but they were all talking together like friends about trust. Now, did you notice any differences in the way these different kind of banks approach trust towards their customers? Private versus wealth versus retail?
Well, I'm sure that, of course, because N26 is 100% mobile, they have instant measures of what their clients are doing, the number of interactions, the use of the services. While it's a completely different story with private banks, but we live in the same world and we live under the same regulation, and we live in the same difficult context of negative interest rates, which is going to hurt the neobanks in the same way than the private banks, or even in a worse way. So I think that, we're all on the same boat. And I think therefore, this is why you observe at least a lot of respect and comprehension between those bankers who have very different client bases indeed.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rick.